talking. So welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm Cheryl.
So here at Let's Talk, we discuss topics that matter to you, where we try to come up with workable solutions with more action and less talk. So let's talk. So we were off for about a couple of days. We ain't been on last week. We want to apologize for that. Everybody wasn't up to scratch, How you feeling, Cheryl? You feeling good today?
Much better, yes.
Much better?
Yes.
You ready to deal with me today?
Well, we're planning to talk.
Okay, so she's back in full steam, so we can go ahead. So we want to continue with our conversation. But last time we were here, we were talking about what men want versus what women want. But guys, I wanted to encourage you to join in on our conversation. 352-TALK, 352-8255. So just call us, man. We want to hear from you all, man. Let's help us get through this, You all see Cheryl beating up on me. Guys, all girls, come. Give your boy a hand. Don't let her beat up on me, ladies. So yeah, last time we were here, we were talking about what men want versus what women want. And Cheryl went into great detail as to what women want, saying that men don't listen. And she even said that she was talking to me and I wasn't listening to her. But I heard her quite clearly, She said when women speak, sometimes they just want us to just sit there like their girlfriends and just listen as they vent. And men, just keep your mouth shut and don't offer any advice, don't offer any help. Just let her vent and let her stay in the problems that she's in because she just wants to talk about it, right? I mean, I think I get it down, right? And then if she's being a little difficult, to gently gently coax her or guide her out of that mindset she's in. Yeah. So I got it right?
Not really. You need some help in some areas, but for the most part, women want a guy who listens. They want their men to listen. But tonight we're not talking about what women want. Because, like I said the last time, we are quite vocal. Men know what we want because we tell them all the time. We don't shut up about it. And when we stop talking, we give up. We have given up. And it's always a bad sign when a woman stops talking.
I think so.
Okay?
I mean, it depends on which man you ask.
Good one. But tonight we're focusing on what men want. Father's Day is coming up. And we want to honor fathers as well. And so we want to pay some attention to the men in our lives. So we want to know, what do men want? What do men want from their wives? What do men want in the workplace? What do men want from their children? Jason said men are not good communicators, and sometimes they don't take the time to say what it is that they want, or sometimes they wait until they actually don't get it and they're annoyed and it's expressed in a different way. He didn't say that part. I'm saying that part. So now I'm giving Jason the chance tonight to represent all men as he shares with us.
Well, guys, I hope I don't let you all down. But she didn't give me kudos for saying I listened because I was able to repeat what it is. So I was listening, but hey,
heard.
Be used to that.
There's a difference. He heard. There's a difference. He probably watched the show over when he got home. That's probably how he heard, because it was evident on the show that he was not listening.
No, man, I was just waiting to offer some advice, but then I had to woosah and get out of it. But anyway, Men want to be respected. She asks, what is respect? To us, respect means appreciation. Just taking the time out. Let me see if I can do an analogy. You depend on your car to get you where you want to go. Therefore, you can take care of that car. You can make sure the gas in that car. You can make sure the tires got the air, whatever. You can just make sure that car running right. The man wants to be treated. We taking care of you. So we want you to just step up and just make sure we running right. We shouldn't have to ask, right? Women, they say women have this intuition. Man, why y'all use it on everywhere else except your man? You know, you could do this and you could be this investigator, this deep investigator, and find out when he's doing something wrong. But then you can't find out when he's feeling wrong. You know, you can't use your intuition and see, hey, he isn't up to scratch right now. He got beat down today. Let me just take back, it ain't on me, and put the focus on him. That's what we want, you know. Because you want us to be the protectors, you want us to be the providers and the priests. That's our role. But then you also have a role to play too, which is to be our helpmate. Help us get through these battles we have. When we come home, make us feel special, man. You know, for those of us who have kids, when our kids young, you know what they do when they see daddy come? They run to them, open arms, smiling, just embrace, you know? We want our women to do that too to us too, you know. When we come home, man, look here, we appreciate you. We appreciate the fights you've been going through for us. We appreciate all that you do for us, those battles, and you know that we don't have to battle them. We appreciate that. That's how respect looks to us. Make us feel like we were the daughter. That's what we want, Cheryl. Make us feel like we are the king. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, the only approval we want is from our women, you know. We really don't care most of the times for the people out there. We want it from the women, those women who we say we love and those women who we go to battle for. That's what we want. We want them to come and give us a pat on the back. Doing a good job. Hey, dog, you're doing a good dog. Good dog, good dog. You're doing a good job. Make us feel like it's worth the fight. Excuse me. Let us know that, hey, your efforts aren't in vain. We see you. And that's what Father's Day is about too, you know. We see you and we honor you. We respect you. You know, they have these statistics, and I can throw some numbers out there. I could be wrong, but I sure y'all got the great Google at your hands, right? What is spent on Mother's Day. I think in the US it's like some $25 billion, right? And the Father's Day, it ain't too bad, but it's 15 billion. That's a whole 10 billion behind. Now that says a lot. Cheryl, you want to speak to that?
Well, it could be because the ratio of there are less fathers, or just less fathers being fathers. But we're not going to talk about that tonight at all. We're not going to focus on anything negative towards men tonight. But, you know, he asked the question and I just wanted to answer that. So that might be one of the reasons, because there are less fathers being active. And then based on ratio of women to men in the world, there are more mothers than fathers.
Right. That could be one thing.
Right.
But then again, women make a lot of more noise. For a man would sit back and he just accepts it as it comes, right? Most men, he just sits back and accepts it. He doesn't believe in making a bunch of noise on it. Women, I don't think y'all can do that. Y'all can make sure, hey, what about me?
Well,
like you say, you guys are quite vocal.
Yes, and the retail industry caters to women more. I believe so. The retail industry caters to women more. Advertising, they cater to women more. And they know that women, these things appeal to women more. And so that's how they make their money, and they focus on that. They go after women. I believe if men were to pay more attention to these things, then the retail industry will change. They just want to make money. They don't care who they get it from.
Yeah, so women could see that when they know you control that business, right? And in families, when the finances come in, what the woman say, my money is my money. His money is our money, right? I don't know if you agree to that, but you know, I'm sure you heard.
Yes.
So if you're controlling the finances and the retail industry, then you guys should take that money and spend it on the men. Just build us up. You know, just encourage those of us that are doing good. You know,
I think for the most part, men don't really. Well, I'm not a man. Maybe you can correct me. I think men, for a man, you know, what you want more is that, like you say, that encouragement, that confirmation. I think for the most part, men don't really care if they get gifts. As women, we care about. We want a gift. We want you to say, you know, all of that. I love you, but I say it with something.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it. That's right.
So women, that's important to us. But for the guy, you know, the gift is really how you treat him. Correct?
Correct. And that's all we want. We want to be treated. You know, women like to make some women, because I don't know all women, but I've heard it, you know, when the woman if the guy asks what she's bringing to the table, she comes, oh, I make this, I have my own house, I have these things, and the guy, for the most part, most guys aren't interested in that stuff because we're coming with this stuff. We have that stuff. So we need you all to do for us what we can't do for us.
I agree, but you don't all have that stuff. Let's just put it out there. Not all men have that stuff. A lot of them don't. And if a woman comes with some stuff, it's help. That's less stuff you have to have. You wouldn't have to work as hard, right? So the reality is it's helpful for a woman to be able to have work and not be a liability, a financial liability to the man, right? So that is coming with something. That's a good thing. So let's not complain about that, guys. All right?
It's not a complaint. It's just that when you try to use that as an asset, it really
well, it
isn't.
is.
It really
it is
isn't
an
for us.
asset. It may not be. You know what? And I will always encourage women to have something.
Get your own.
Get your own.
Definitely
Exactly.
get your own.
Because there won't always be a guy. And a lot of times, even in situations, your husband passes away, you must have something to fall back on. You should be able to, if you go back in the workforce, be able to be marketable to get a job or have something financially and not just depend on what he has. Most guys don't want a woman coming in depending on what he has. Yes, he wants to be there providing for you, but he also wants to know that you have something as well.
He wants your help. He wants your assistance. But like to say, more or less, men want their women to depend on them, you know. That's one of our purposes, you know.
I agree.
And we feel, when we're operating in our purpose, we feel good. We feel like we accomplished something. So I was speaking to some ladies the other day, and they said, she said she can open the jar for herself. But she just goes to her husband and say, hey, baby, open this for me. And say, you should see him. The sense of pride that he could do this for his wife, you know. We just feel, just to know that we can operate in our God-given purpose to take care of our families, you know.
So when you're not home,
when we're not home,
I'm sitting there waiting for you to open the jar.
No, you can play your role.
Oh, really? So you want me when you're home, you open the jar. When you're not home, you better go.
No, wait until I come home and I open that jar. That's the one you dependent on me. But no, man, seriously.
But I do understand what you're saying, and I was listening to something. It talks about a man wanting to be able to save his damsel in distress.
Absolutely.
And so it makes him feel good about himself. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's too much to ask for us women to give the guy that. I don't think it's too much to ask, but every relationship has its own individual culture.
Correct.
It has its own individual issues, and these issues won't go away. And I always harp on having conversations. And I think it has a lot to do with the conversations about expectations. And I think a lot of times we just go into relationship focusing on the wrong thing. It's just like, you know, you jump in the car and you didn't check anything. You didn't check the engine, you didn't check the important things, and you start driving. And when you're down the road, you realize the light comes on and you realize, oh, gee, there's something that you could have checked that could have, you know, prevented, or even that, prevented a lot of the issues. But we wait too long to have these conversations, and that's very important.
Definitely communication is the key in everything, every relationship. Good communication. Communication is necessary. That's the only way we'll be able to move forward. That's the only way we'll be able to grow. Now, but oftentimes you hear women say they want a guy to communicate, they want him to express. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when a guy has grown to the point where he can't express himself, sometimes the females, they don't take it as him expressing himself. They turn around and say he's complaining. He's being a female dog. Now, that's because he's now expressing what he wants. He's able to verbally express what he wants, right? Mm. So he's saying, rather than her taking it as he's giving her pointers on how to better serve him, mm-hmm. She takes it as a criticism or looks at it as you're not doing something right. When he's just saying no. If she comes to him,
maybe it was a criticism because we don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to communicate without pointing fingers verbally. When you start a conversation by saying you, and I don't like when you, and you always, and you never, that is attacking someone. We don't know how to use our words to gently get someone to hear. if you want someone to hear you, you have to know how to get them to hear you. And a lot of times that is what we do. We attack people, we complain, and we nag, and we say that we are communicating. We wait for someone to be angry. When someone is angry, they cannot hear you. When someone is hurt, when someone is insulted, when someone has been embarrassed, they cannot hear you. So you have to lay a foundation even for communication.
Correct.
And a lot of us don't know how to do that. I don't want to say guys, but a lot of us don't know how to do that. Okay. So, but Jason, so we know you said what men want, and that's just one thing. I don't know if there are others. Now, why do you think men don't get what they want?
Because for the most part, men assume, I think they may assume that it's going to be given. Because what I said was that's just a natural human thing to do for another person you say you respect and love, to make them feel appreciated. So they may just feel they don't have to say it because that should have been a given. You know, to appreciate me, I am doing this for you. I expect it to be reciprocated, some form of fashion. You don't have to give me gifts or anything, but just show me. You don't have to say it. Show me it, and we'll be all right. And for the most part, I feel that the ladies are focused on them. They want the guys to be the guys when their needs are already met. You understand? When it's convenient, they're okay for the guys to be guys, men to be men. So guys, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. But we want you to call him and join in the conversation. 352-TALK, 352-TALK. We'll be right back.
The Rotary Club of Sunrise presents their 4th annual Cigar Night, June 17th at 7 p.m. This event is at Sir Charles Hayward Yacht Club. Ticket prices are $100, inclusive of a free drink and food. Sold at Signature Choices, located downtown. It's a night you don't want to miss.
Is this a party or what?
Food, dancing, prizes, and music by MLD Productions. Cigar Night by the Rotary Club of Sunrise. Sponsored by R&R Cigars.
Where you going, buddy?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is?
They sell tickets for parties, concerts, plays, sporting events, everything.
You know how expensive bus is?
Well, if you just buy the tickets online, they could just send you it in the email. Then you could just print it off.
You know how strong mosquitoes is?
Or you could go to the box office downtown at the Genesis Street Gear.
You ain't scared of June 8th.
Welcome back. And I think just before we went to commercial break, I asked Jason about, you know, the fact that he shared with us what men want. And so I asked him, why does he think men don't get what they want? And of course, if you have any comments, we want to invite you to text us and let us know. If you have any questions or comments, we really want to hear from you.
Oh, I got a text in from Lenora Dame says, this is true. My man is king's son. I tell my husband I am depending on him. Where to go, Nora? Where to make that man feel like he's number one.
Excellent.
Men also wanted to know that they are your number one. Now, women express that all the time. She will feel like she's the
Everybody
only
wants
person
to be
in the
treated
world.
that way. Yes.
But men, I don't think
Men
for the
don't
most part,
express it as
we
much.
don't express it, but we want that. Because if we put in you first, we put in the kids first, we put in everyone first, who's going to put us first?
That's true.
You know what the pilots always say? Secure your mask first before you try to help somebody else. Because if you don't help yourself, you can't help others. So we are expecting our women, our wives, to be that help for us so that we can focus on you.
Right.
But for the most part, you know, this world we in now, everybody's so selfish. Everyone is me first and I entitled. And because, like you say, the man ain't saying nothing. What do you say? Hungry dog don't get fed. I mean, closed mouth don't get fed.
Oh, that's how it goes.
Yeah. So, but men, because women know what they want, I think they know what men want too. You know, because I asked the question. I asked the question what a man should do, and almost in like a choir, like you all went to school and rehearsed this. Almost every woman could say what a man's supposed to do.
What did they say?
He's supposed to provide. He's supposed to take care of me. He's supposed to take care of all the finances. He's supposed to this and this. But so it's like, okay. So what the woman's supposed to do?
What was the answer?
And it was no one answer. It's a different answer for almost every woman I give. Almost every woman I spoke to.
But, okay, so can you answer my question, the one I asked about, why do you think men don't get what they want?
Maybe we choosing the wrong women. Maybe we're not communicating. Maybe, yeah. Why do you think we're not getting what we want? Because I think women know what we want.
Right.
Why aren't we getting it?
I think you hit the nail on the head, and those are my two answers as well. I think men are sometimes going into relationships with women for the wrong reason. And they're not, and they know what they want and they're not getting it from that person, but they're willing to compromise and be in a relationship. And I think sometimes they're there for the wrong reason. And after they're there, then they more or less, I don't want to say change their expectations, but their real expectations start coming out. And by then the woman is not interested because she would have already developed more or less her own expectations of what the relationship should be.
You know, men, for a long time, they were told men were encouraged to be quiet, strong, silent, don't express your feelings, because if you express your feelings, you're soft. And we've been programmed, that's wrong, but that's a part of our culture. Most men don't say because we were taught if we say we be soft. What you complain about, man up, you know? So now we're being heard. We want to know. And in some instances, when we say what we want, what you complaining for? You're complaining too much. You as a female dog. I only being nice because we only do. But that ain't what it's
Jason,
saying.
you make it sound like men are just out there suffering in silence. So this is just the general consensus that men are out there suffering in silence, and
Yes.
women, we are the villain. We are just out here just being abusive, emotionally and mentally abusive to men and not giving men what they want. And they're just there working hard.
Yes.
Just coming home and just
taking it,
suffering,
sucking it
just
up.
taking it
Just
all.
sucking up. Oh,
and
Jesus,
just,
help
they
us,
just
help
have
us.
to be quiet.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Women, are you hearing this?
Yes.
Women, I just, well, maybe, I guess Jason is saying we are the problem. There's someone else in the studio here. I wouldn't call any names. And he's just shaking his head violently in agreement with Jason. So apparently we are the problem then. Women, we have to do something. Our men are suffering. We had one person who said her man is her king. And I know I have friends who treat their spouses like kings. So I would love to know what percentage of men feel like they're suffering. I really would love to know.
Sharon, so this is probably going to be a bad example or comparison.
Mm-hmm.
When the guys go there and have extracurricular activities,
Right?
why do you think he's doing that?
He's trying to get away from home?
Ding, 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 ding. Bring this woman a prize. Bring this woman a prize.
Really?
Now, not all of them, because some of them
wow.
are just dogs, right? And there's no grounds for cheating. None. I don't want to encourage that.
Oh, well, you're talking about cheating? Oh, gosh,
yeah.
I'm being really slow. I really thought play sports or go and watch
All of it, all of
something,
them,
whatever.
all
but
of them,
not,
all of
so
them.
every time a guy leaves home, he's trying to get away from home.
Sometimes, in some instances.
I'm talking
Some
about just going to
instances.
hang with the boys.
Some instances, because it's more comfortable for him to hang with his boys than to go home and deal with the complaints from his woman. And mind you, she may have some valid
cannot
complaints,
believe
right?
that,
She may have
because-
some valid complaints, but then, listen, I hear fellas talk, right? I don't know the percentages, and I don't have this problem, but I hear guys who rather hang out on the bar than to go home. Mind you, I heard some women who rather stay with their friends and then go
Yes,
to their
but-
husband too, right?
of
But
course
I ain't
that
checking
happens.
for these women. I ain't speaking
Yes,
for the
we're
men.
talking about men, of
Speaking for the
course.
men.
Yeah, I'm not checking for the women either. We're talking about men.
But
I'm
yes.
sure this happens. But what I'm saying is, it can be, I'm sure it's not a large percentage. There are many people who leave home just to be out, not necessarily because they don't want to be home, but because they'd like to be somewhere else for that period of time.
Really?
Yes, really.
Boy, my home is my castle, boy, and the only time you see
So
me
you
hanging
just-
out. No, let me don't say that because people might see me out and think I ain't going out. 'Cause I have to go
Exactly.
home. But-
Exactly.
but-
so you're saying most men,
but
right?
yeah,
Listen
men-
carefully.
listen,
You're saying
men.
most of men. Can I say most
Go
men?
ahead.
You're saying most men, if they would rather, if they go to work, go to church, and wherever else, and they want to be home the rest of the time, they want to just be home.
Yeah, for the most part.
I
Yeah,
would love to hear
but-
that
but
from other
listen,
people
listen,
other than Jason.
I
I
work,
find that hard to believe.
I work with the guys, right? And I hear some what they do on the side, and I be like, why? And it's because they saying that woman home tearing her
What-
head off.
Oh, so she's
She's
okay.
complaining,
So she's complaining.
nagging.
She's
Yeah,
nagging. It's
yeah,
not
the
that
scripture
she
says
totally
better live
ignores
on-
him.
It's better live on the top of the roof than to
Than-
stay inside with a contentious woman.
Wow.
Yeah, but men, I feel.
But the man is out there talking, hanging with the boys and talking, and
Yes.
he has no communication problem when he's outside there
Listen,
talking
we already
and hanging
established this.
with the
Men
boys.
and women
But
speak
he-
different languages, and me and a guy would talk, and he gets exactly what I say. And I don't have to go into no deep things. We ain't going off on a tangent, and I got to come back to this topic again and splinter off into different conversations. Then say, hey, what we start talking about before in the first place? No, when the guys start talking, we talk straight. We shoot straight, and he gets exactly what he's saying. So it's easier for him to talk to him. You already said it. It's easier for you women to sit down and speak with other women because you all know you just want to talk
Women,
and
we can
vent.
talk to anyone. We can talk to anyone. Women, we can talk to anyone
Because you all just want to talk.
because we do
More
have
or
the
less
gift of
get
gab.
feedback. Yes.
We have a conversation. Feedback is very important in a conversation. But my thing though is I'm back to conversations. I think relationships are lacking conversations.
Definitely.
I heard something very, very interesting just during this week about a lady. She was expressing about the fact that relationships are not 50-50. And I think for the most part, we know that. But we know that everybody has to give 100. But sometimes you don't have 100 to
Correct.
give, right?
Correct.
And sometimes the two of you together don't have 100 to give. And she said, you know, when she comes home in the evening, her and her husband, they do a mood check. And so sometimes the day would have beaten her up so badly, she only had 20% when she got home. And she said sometimes when she's at a 20, her husband is at an 80. So he was like, baby, I'll carry you.
Right.
And she said one day she came home and she said, I got 10. He said, I only got 20.
Gee.
So they said, you know, we need to sit down and have a conversation so that I don't beat you up because I'm lacking so much and you don't beat me up.
And that's
And
mature.
exactly.
That's
And that's
maturity.
important because sometimes our expectations, our mood, our habits are dictated by what happens outside of the home and everything else that we're going through. And then we take it out on the spouse. But
We have to know when to shut off. We know how to compartmentalize, and men are good at that. That's probably why we don't speak a lot, because we know how to put things in a box and set it away and leave it. Sometimes we don't go back to that, and it boils over. But we good at compartmentalizing things, right? But we have to learn how to. I agree with you. We have to learn how to communicate and take responsibility for our own roles, our own actions. Many times we like to cast the blame on the other person. You responsible for this. We don't want to take accountability. You caused me to do this. You caused me to do that. No, you did that because you chose to, whatever you did, you received it in that manner and you chose to respond in that manner. That was all up to you. A person cannot make you respond in a certain way. You choose to respond. It's how you receive it. And that's all part of communicating. A lot of us like to blame. Just I don't like how you say that to me. We have to learn how to communicate, but then also we have to learn how to think for the other person as well. If we love them,
that's true.
sit down and say, hey, did they really mean what they said? Why did they say it? You have to argue for that person inside your head if you love them,
Yes.
if you care for them.
Yes.
Now, if you just want to be heard and you want to win every fight,
Yes.
you're gonna end up by yourself. You're gonna end up causing more fires.
I agree. I have a text. Lenora James says, I just told my husband, well, I called her name, so I probably shouldn't say that part. I probably don't want to have her information on the air. But you know, the gist of it, you know, she shared that sometimes men expect us to know. And we don't always know. We're not mind readers because men are expressive on the jobs and they're expressive with their boys and they're expressive on the football games. So they need to be expressive in relationships. We have to learn that this is going to take conversation. And of course, Annalisa says, yes, men are the problem.
At least
Okay.
I know that was
and
coming.
James also says, yes, that's it. They go in it for the wrong reasons for real. So
And
she's
women
agreeing
don't.
that
And
men
that's
go
true.
into relationships sometimes
both parties go in
for the wrong reasons.
Yes, women
No,
do the same
women
thing
don't go
because
into relationships for the wrong reasons. We know why we're going into relationships. We're going in there to be loved, some of us to be taken care of, but you know why we're going into the relationship. A man, he
Call
sees a
me,
pretty
please.
face and he wants to
Please.
spend the rest of his life with you and
no,
blah, blah,
no,
blah.
no.
right?
See,
But-
Cheryl is very good at saying the right stuff. Cheryl, 352-TALK, 352-8255. Please come in and join this conversation. Cheryl is very good. She reminds me of a politician sometimes. She knows exactly what to say. But
Ouch.
Cheryl, no, that's not how it goes. Women know what they're going for. They don't go for the wrong reasons. So you've
Okay.
never seen women just going out there now. She ain't marrying for love no more. She marrying for finance and security. She looking for this white knight. She didn't make all the mistakes with all those pretty boys or the guys who have this now. Now she want to find a decent man with a job. Now she want to go and get this decent guy. And she ain't going to him because it's love, you know. She realized she's making mistakes with the other fellas them. So she's going in there to get herself secured. Herself secure. She ain't going in there and say, let me go and secure this man. She going in that for her to be loved,
Why?
for her to be secure,
Why?
for her to get her whatever
Why is she
security in
going there
life.
to secure the man? The man
Because it's supposed to
is
be two ways,
the
Cheryl.
man, excuse me.
Sorry.
Of course, financial security is the man's responsibility, which you said. I'm only agreeing with you, Jason. Jason said financial security.
When I said that tonight, that was like 2 shows
tonight.
ago.
Jason
Anything I said 2 shows
financial
ago
security.
can't
He
be
said
held.
the man don't want your money.
Yeah.
He don't want your assets.
Right.
That's what
Right,
he
okay, I
said.
did
That's
say
what
that.
Jason
I
said.
did say that.
Right? So now the woman wants that man. And now it's the problem. So
No.
men, do you actually
No,
know?
dude, you said she
Maybe-
going in there. You said
I
she
said
don't
women-
go in for that reason. I'm
I
telling
said
you,
women don't go into relationships for the wrong
Wrong
reason.
reasons.
That's what I said. Now, if she goes into relationship for financial reasons,
that ain't wrong.
no, it's not. No, it's not. You are the provider.
Okay,
that is
let's
the
say
right
that.
reason. The
Oh,
man is the provider.
so wait a minute.
So you go in there for him to provide.
So it's just on her then. So it's just for her. I mean, this marriage is just around her. She's not going in there to say, let's build together. She's just
I
going in
never
there.
said that
You
part.
said she's not going for. You said
She is going into a relationship with a
For-
man
for her
so that
security.
he can fulfill his God-given abilities,
And
right?
she's
Which is
not-
to provide for her. Now, of course, if she doesn't say the part where she gets, of course, she's not going to be sitting there having him provide. A woman knows what the part
Really?
that she has to play. She's
Really?
going to be his helpmate.
Really?
Yes.
But why didn't that
she
come in
is.
first? Why don't you start? Why don't you leave that? Women go into this relationship to be the helpmate, to
Excuse
fulfill
me?
their roles.
I
Rather
go
than say
to-
women go in there for financial security.
I
Why
go
didn't you
to-
lead with that?
Why do you think I go to work?
No, I
I
said,
go
why
to
didn't
work. I am a I have explicable work ethics.
And-
Yes, that's
and-
the second part. But my number one reason is to get paid. Same thing with the female. Our number one reasons are
So,
that. But of course, when we
no.
are in the relationship,
Okay.
may I finish? Thanks.
Sorry.
When we're in the relationship, the onus is upon us to do certain things for our man. Now, yes, do women have problems? Yes. A lot of women, we don't let that guy feel like he's priority number one. And that's something that women need to work on. We need to work on that. We shouldn't have to wait for him to say that. But both persons need to be treating the other person like number one.
Okay.
Both
I'm just waiting for the
persons
cue for you to say for me to speak.
need to be treating the other person like they're number one.
Cheryl,
Yes, Jason.
you say the guy's going into it wrong. He going looking for a pretty face, and I know you probably saying the other thing he's going in there for is probably sex.
Of
Wrong.
course, yes.
No, hold on. So, what does a wife do for the husband? What is one of her roles? See, you said a man reasons wrong. He going into that for his companionship. He going into that to feel physical, to get his physical needs met. Right? That's one of the jobs of a wife. That's what he's supposed to be going in a relationship for. She said that's wrong.
I didn't say that's wrong.
You say that's one of the. You say man going in for the wrong reason.
Right.
He see the pretty face. He ain't married her because her face pretty. You know that attract him. Men are physical beings. We are attracted to things. That's why you put on your makeup. That's why you dress up nice. That's why, because to attract us, right? No.
That's for self-fulfillment. But that's a different
Boy, you can lie. She's lying in the name of Jesus. But anyway, let me calm down. Yes,
Jason.
men go in it. Same reason. So if you could justify the women's reason, the men go in it for the same. We go in it for different reasons, right? The man goes in it to get. He wants to get his partner, his helpmate. That's what he goes in there looking for. And his helpmate constitute getting him taken care of, feeling appreciated. You said the woman coming for the priest, providing, protecting. That's what the man's role is, right? So how could what the man want be wrong, but what the woman want be right?
Okay, women are more expressive. My thing is, the man goes looking and leaves the rest of the chance. The important part, he leaves up to chance, hoping that this pretty face and this nice package, and this woman who gives me good sex is gonna hopefully fulfill the rest for me. Where the woman is a little more intelligent in her choice.
Oh wow!
And
So
definitely
man's choice is
a little more
unintelligent.
and more intuitive in what she wants, because I believe the woman sees down the road, whereas the man just sees just
That's not
right
true.
here.
Sir.
And that's just
Case
how
in
it
point.
feels. As it relates
Case in
to
point.
the partner, yes.
Case in point. The ratio of unwed mothers. That's case in point. Women don't go looking for those things. That's not true, because if they was doing it, if they was more intelligent in their choices, they wouldn't end up with so much deadbeat dads. If that was the case, if that's what you're saying is true,
We're not really.
that's true. Tell me how, prove me wrong.
We're talking. Oh, are we talking about? Are we talking about fathers and single mothers now? Are we just talking about
You
people
said
in relationships?
we talking about intelligent choices.
All right,
You said intelligent
all right,
choices.
Let's look at this question. Who is more fulfilled in relationships? Do you think women or men are more fulfilled in
Both.
relationships?
There should be both. I can't
No,
speak
I'm
to that.
saying who is more fulfilled in relationships?
It depends on the
You
what point.
just talked about how men
I-
are suffering.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
depends
think,
on which.
I think
on which
women are
point.
more fulfilled in relationships than men.
Yeah.
In the same relationship, the man is unfulfilled in.
Yes, the women are more fulfilled.
Which begs the question, then why?
And what you mean? Okay, let me go back to this. When the relationship first starts, the woman, man, both of them put on shows. They put their best foot forward, and they both advertise what they're going to give.
Right.
Correct, right? When the wedding happens, after the wedding, marriage starts, what happens? The man's needs get put on the back burner for whatever reason. Children, work, school, or whatever. The man's needs are now put to the back. The women still getting their security, because the man's still doing his role as providing, protecting, being the priest of the home. Well, I hope he's being the priest of the home. But the woman now starts holding back on some of the stuff the man married her for. That's why the man is now unfulfilled in the marriage, because she's not living up to her end of the bargain. In the beginning, when they first started dating, the sex was on top. She lived one end and he lived on the other end. She would bring that food to him. You know why? Because she's secure in that bag. She's making sure she's getting this guy. She's putting her best foot forward.
She's responding to how he makes her feel. And
Oh.
and sadly, I'm sorry. Sadly, that's what most of what
Cheryl, I was supposed to tell you
relationships
just
are
now.
about.
Excuse me, can I finish,
I'm
please?
sorry.
I was supposed to do
really
that
am
just now.
sorry. Yes.
I was supposed to.
And
do
you
that.
are right.
And I'm such a gentleman. I just allow her to just cut me off and start speaking. Guys, you said, ladies, you see how gentleman I am? You see how I'm such a gentleman I am? But anyway, like I was saying, the women in the beginning, both parties put their best foot forward. And during the more deeper they get into their marriage or whatever, things start to taper off. You're starting to alluding to say, okay, the man isn't doing what he used to do to make her feel in that position, to give him that loving he needs, that appreciation he needs. But she's supposed to do that regardless if he's doing that or not. Because the man, I don't feel like going and paying that mortgage. You know what I could do with my money? I don't feel like fixing these things when it broke. I feel like spending that money on me.
True.
I don't feel like going and protecting or coming to the defense because, hey, I might get due in. So, but I don't hold back on my responsibilities. I do what I have to do. Now, yes, I might be, but see, that's another thing. Was he as sensitive and caring when they
Yes,
first started dating?
Yes, he was. Yes,
Okay.
he was. So he has changed too.
Or did
But
y'all just
sadly-
make y'all
sadly-
feel,
sadly-
see what we want to see?
No, sadly though, women we do act out of feelings, and men act mostly out of obligation. So
Right.
a lot of times, women, depending on how the man makes us feel, we act accordingly. But what we have to understand as women is that it doesn't matter how we feel; we're still obligated to do certain
Amen.
things, especially if you're a wife.
Amen.
If you are a wife, you're obligated to make the man feel like king in his
Amen.
home.
That's what you're working for.
Okay, that's an obligation. But sadly, we do it based on how we feel. Because initially in the relationship, it was about how you made me feel. Of course, I'm going to drive from East End to West End to bring you a plate of food because of how you make me feel.
Mm-hmm.
And not just how you make me feel about you, too, it's how you make me feel about myself.
Okay.
But when the man stops doing that part, then everything is affected. So is the onus upon you then as a man to go back and try to make me feel like how you made me feel in the beginning? Or I'm just going to have to pull that up from somewhere? Because obviously now things have changed. You want more, but are you giving more? Or do you feel that because you are providing and you are being the same thing you were being all along, you're doing that?
Yes.
Because usually the responsibilities seems to change only for the woman.
No, really? The woman responsibility?
The roles, I think it escalates mostly for women in a relationship. I think men, it's what the roles are. I think I think it requires more from women.
That's because that's how you want to view it. You know, men don't sit and go through all that. You know, we say, hey, it has to be done. Let's not even beat up our gums about it. Let's do it. Let's not harm on it. It has to be done. Let's do it. You're going to sit there and say, man, why I have to do this? And things change that. No, the point is we're here. We got to move forward. And you say, where are you supposed to draw on to get those feelings? Yes, draw on that same well that caused you to marry him in the first place. Oh, I remember. And then you keep
memories.
Yeah,
because the things that he has stopped doing now.
Yeah.
So I have to go on memories.
Yes,
Why don't you
because
go on
what?
memories?
You know why? Because that's what causes us to continue going on.
What?
Our memories, what she used to do.
Really?
Yes, what she used to do. Hold on, she may go back to that. Let me continue doing my job. She might get one of these days. Let me just do this for her. She might remember. She might smile on me. That's why you hear men don't really leave their relationships when they're unhappy. You know? They might do little extracurricular activities, but they'll stay. Women leave when they're unhappy. Men don't leave. You know why we don't leave? Because we have a responsibility. We can stay there and carry out our purpose. We have to man up and stay there and do it.
Activities.
I'm being nice.
He may as well just leave.
No,
Anyway,
man.
He
No.
has left in some way if he's going to do extracurricular.
But that don't
activities,
mean
but that's
that.
different.
That
That's a
don't mean
different
that
story.
because he doesn't want to
You-
dissolve the marriage or the relationship. He say, you know something, before I do something, let me just go clear my hair. Whether it's with the boys, whether it's another woman, I don't encourage that. Whether it's with the boys, with another woman, with the sports or whatever that, he goes and clears his hair and comes home. A woman, I don't know how you deal with it, but that's how the men deal with it. That's how you say, that's how we sit and feel unfulfilled in these relationships. Because we're just waiting for the day that she starts now doing what she promised to do at the altar. Why you made vows before God and your witnesses and the big hoopla and all that stuff. So you have an obligation to live up to that regardless of how you're feeling. Take your feelings out of the way, because if men acted how we feel out of our feelings, this world would be even worse than it is now.
So, all right, answer this then. Why do men change after they feel that the chase is over? After they would have gotten the woman, they relax. Why is that? Why don't you? I'm not saying that you should chase after you would have gotten the catch, but shouldn't you still allow that person to feel of value?
Yes,
if you were in a chase?
Yes, I agree. Yes.
So why has that stopped?
when you tell me why women allow themselves to just become relaxed at home and don't care for themselves physically anymore, and when they married.
I don't think that happens. All right.
Hey, why the BBLs? Okay.
I'm just being funny.
Yeah, so the same reason why
ladies.
we all become complacent, we all get relaxed, we all take the other person for granted. That's not a man or woman thing. We need to fix that.
Yes.
Because the same thing you did to get them, you should do to keep them, right?
And that goes both ways.
That's what I say, both ways, both ways.
I agree with Jason. I think that's the first time I'm saying that for
For
the
the
night.
night.
I doubt I'll be saying it again. But I definitely agree with Jason. We have to keep ourselves attractive. It doesn't matter if we age, we still have to keep ourselves attractive looking, as in what the guy likes, because attractive is relative to different women.
And within reason, because I'm not expecting you to stay a size, whatever, after you've had children and all that stuff. No, within reason. Some people they just don't. It just goes for the men too, but mostly men are visual. So we need to see and feel that attraction. Women, we are more verbal and you want to hear the compliments, and the flowers and all that stuff. So it's different.
And even if we don't look the same way, you find something to compliment.
Yes, I agree.
There has to be something that you can find to compliment.
I agree.
So both persons have a responsibility to stay current.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a commercial break right now, and then we'll be back.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about Father's Day, because we just keep going off on a tangent. So we'll be back. God calls us to love our
I'm Flynn Daxon from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
Welcome back, guys. I'm going to go read to a comment from Lenora. He said, some men will provide everything, but they don't know how to love. Their first priority is to provide, but forget that. God calls us to love our wives. That's what's lacking in men. I could agree. The Bible told us every man should know their wife and love them accordingly, or something like that, right? Know them, dwell with them. So we got to know them, know what makes them tick. Yeah. Men were commanded to love because we struggle with that, and women were commanded to submit or respect because they struggle with that. So I guess we all fall down on our roles by the God, by the Father. Hey? But we want to now shift just a little into going to Father's Day. Father's Day is coming upon us, right? And it's so sad that some people only know about it because they hear about other people talking about it. They don't even know which day it is, They just guessing, when it is again. But it's this Sunday coming.
Yes.
And that's sad, right? When Mother's Day was advertised like months. I mean, Valentine's, Easter didn't finish good. Mother's Day was then on commercials and stuff like that. And that just goes to show how men are pushed to the side. And we're okay with it because we don't make a big fuss. It doesn't matter to us that we aren't on the same level with spending with mothers or we aren't celebrated as highly, but it matters that we aren't celebrated at all. And that's how it seems like it matters that it seems that we are a second thought, just a passing thought. No thought into giving the consideration of what we do, how hard we work, the struggles we go through, the beating we take on the jobs and the abuse we sometimes take and how we put ourselves in harm's way for the people we love. That's not being appreciated on the level that it should be. If you depend on something, you really should take care of that. Because if that thing you depend on falls away, then you're left high and dry. So women want to depend on men. They should be able to depend on men. So why not treat them as that thing that you depend on? Why not cherish them at the level that they should be? Honor them, respect them. You know, there are a lot of bad apples out there, but there are a lot of good ones too. Don't take this time to reflect on the bad choices you made with Charles' father. Look, I'm guaranteed there's some man out there that you could celebrate, whether it's one of your uncles or a father figure of some sort. Find that person and celebrate them. Forget the ones that are doing the bad job. Forget them. God can deal with them. Society can deal with them. Capitalize and emphasize the ones that are doing good. Celebrate those ones. Make a big hoopla out of it, man. You know, a lot of men would say, man, that's okay, we don't want it, but deep down inside, we like that, you know. We sit down and say, boy, that make us swell up with pride, right? But we might tell you that's what we want. Again, communication. But we want to feel appreciated. We don't need you to go spend this big financing, but come and show us appreciation. Let the world know that you appreciate, and that goes a long way.
Okay. I agree with Jason. I don't know. You know, you can talk about Father's Day without bashing women. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You can do that.
Did I bash women just now?
I mean, you kind of, yeah, there was one negative comment, but I agree with Jason. Father's Day is coming up on Sunday, and I really didn't know, and a lot of people still don't know, but thanks to Jason, now that we know, Father's Day is coming up on Sunday, and we need to make sure that men do feel valued. And there are a lot of fathers that are worth it. They are. I went to graduation today, and it was just so good to see the fathers out celebrating their children. They were there, and you can see that they are the men in their homes, and that they're doing what they're supposed to do. But, you know, sadly, we focus on the few that are not doing what they're supposed to do. And for goodness sake, women, this Sunday, we're not telling any single mother Happy Father's Day. We're not doing that. Okay, it's the man's day, and let them have their day. Okay, let them have their day. So we're not going to do the Happy Father's Day to single mothers, because we know that single mothers are good mothers. They're strong mothers, but they can only be mothers. They can't be fathers. So we're going to let the fathers have their day. And I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers who are out there. Keep doing what you're doing. And your child or your children need you. Your wife needs you. And the world needs you.
That's right. So, guys, we just want to thank you for joining us on this good evening. You know, you could have been watching something else, but we really appreciate you. We just hope when we need y'all to call in, man. Say something to us. Tell us what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. You know, just chime in. But we appreciate your views. We appreciate your comments. We just thank you. We ask that you just like and subscribe and share. Hit that bell so that you get a new notification whenever we have new content come out. So, yes. Cheryl, you got anything to end with?
No, just like I said, Happy Father's Day to all the great fathers out there. See you next week.
Happy Father's Day, Kings. We need you. We appreciate you. We see you. Happy Father's Day.
Let's Talk every Tuesday at 6 p.m. only on the Superior Talk YouTube